Hi, welcome to another educational video by Catspit Productions. Today we're going to be talking about taping off your screen pre-press. So this is when your screen is made, your stencil's done, the screen is dry, you're ready to print your shirts, and as you know, many of you know that when you coat your screens, a lot of the time there's a little bit of space around the edges. Okay, so some people choose to cover the space with blockout or emulsion using a tiny plastic squeegee type thing, and they'll go ahead and cover that when they're doing pinholes, when they're looking for pinholes. I don't do that. I just tape it off because I use static aluminum frames, and it's really easy. Emulsion is expensive for me, so I just use some very inexpensive masking tape, and I tape on the back side flat. It's nice and easy, and that way there's no tape or anything in here to get in the way of the ink or to get in the way of my squeegee. Now if you had a Newman roller frame or a round barred frame, you probably want to tape on the inside to prevent the ink from getting in places that it shouldn't. Okay, so there are several choices. Like I said, I use masking tape. This is a 6-pack that I got from Home Depot for $19.95. So that's pretty good for me. That'll last a long time. And you can also buy screen tapes. These are like these are plastic or vinyl or whatever they are. You know, it's a water resistant, solvent resistant tape. And depending on how much solvent you use on press, these can actually be reused. If you do it like this, if you tape your screen on the flat side with this good tape, oftentimes you can actually peel it up and stick it somewhere and reuse it several times. So depending on the quality of this tape, you can get multiple uses out of it if you tape on the flat side. I think this tape is about $5 a roll. Okay, so 5 times 6 would be like 30 bucks. It's only 10 bucks more than that. But the yardage is less. I think there's 36 yards on here or something. So all right, so now as far as when you have multiple designs on your screen, like say you've got a crest or you got a little design and then a big one, and you want to tape off some of that so you can print a particular part, I use glossy newsprint with the masking tape. So I take a piece of glossy newsprint, which is basically magazine paper, any kind of glossy magazine paper, and I'll put it down and tape it to the screen with a little bit of masking tape. Masking tape's great because you can just tear it. Now, if I've already printed the design and it has ink in the stencil, I will tape it off on the substrate side. If I have not printed the design and I'm going to print the design, I'll tape it off on the inkwell side. And the reason is, I tape it off on the inkwell side, and often I take a big piece like this to separate. Like say I had a design up here and the one down here that I'm waiting to print. So this way I can squeegee and get this area all inked up. Ink can get all over here. And then when I'm ready to print this design that's under here, after I scrape all the ink off and pull this off, it's clean. Okay, so the emulsion has no ink on it. So that way when I go to the palette and try to line it up with my my crosshairs on the palette, you can see through the emulsion and do it. So that's a little trick of mine, that if the design has already been printed, I tape it off on this side because otherwise the ink can transfer to the shirt, right? If you haven't printed it, I tape it off on this side to keep it free from ink so that I can line it up easily. Okay? And that's about it. Again, here's, any kind of magazine with glossy paper will work fine. And you want to take the paper off of the screen as soon as possible. Don't leave it on there. It'll get saturated and start to cause problems with the ink clogging the stencil. So you just use it for the print run and then take it off and clean your screen right away. If you leave it on for extended periods of time, you're going to have clogging problems. Okay? And that's it. That's it. A little quickie on tape. Don't forget to visit the website, check out the new blog, and rate 5 stars. Please subscribe. Thanks for watching.